Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hello.
All right, guys, we are back. Things are available to talk about. So, checked out this week. Micah, you and I both, I actually have not finished the second episode, but I've watched the majority of the second episode as well of the new season of Atlanta. What are your thoughts? You were yelling at me that I needed to hurry up and watch this.
Yeah, because Atlanta's a really good show, and it always has been. And It seems like they haven't missed a beat. It's been, 4 years since the end of season 2 and the beginning of season 3?
Jesus, has it been that long?
I think it's been pretty long, man. Like, I forgot the characters' names.
Earn and Paperboy are the only ones I don't remember Lakeith Stanfield's character's name.
Yeah, I didn't remember anybody's name except for Paperboy, because the name is Paperboy, and that's not even his real name. Like, I don't even know the character's real name. But yeah, it's still a great show.
Yes, it is.
It is the first episode. They do a thing where I think has it been every season where there's at least one episode that's like not dealing with the main story at hand? I can't remember. It's been so long.
I feel like that started in the second season. I don't think in the first season they had that. I think it was just kind of a straight narrative show. Okay. But they had that weird episode in, I think it's the first, I want to say it's the first season. The barbershop, like he goes and hangs out with the barber, or the barber goes off and does something. And it kind of follows that, like that guy's storyline, which I guess would be the closest to like not progressing the core story, kind of thing. I think that was in the first season, but I could be wrong.
Hey, I mean, it's been a long time. The second season was in 2018. So yeah. It's been 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the first episode, 3 Slaps, is very good, and it is a not a retelling, but like they take inspiration from a couple of real life things, events. Mm-hmm. The main crux of the story is about a young black boy who gets adopted by 2 white women who have adopted a bunch of kids, and it is who are all black. Yeah. And I won't spoil the episode, but the episode is based on the Hart family murders. So it's that's something that happened. That's something that happened in like 2018. Like that happened during Ferguson.
Yeah.
And it's so, I don't know how many people remember. I didn't remember it. My wife was like, hey, wait a minute, this seems very familiar. And then she was describing it, and then she showed it to me. And I was like, oh shit, I remember this now.
Yep.
And most shows don't have the balls to talk about stuff like this. And I think the only reason that this show does is because it's got minority creators at the top. That's not right. All black, but predominantly black. Because this is a real fucked up story to tell, man. But they were able to tell that story and tell it in a way that is not exploitive and really makes you if you don't know about it, you are likely to investigate, like, wow, this was wild. Anybody see this? And then you type in, hey, season 1, episode 1 of Atlanta, and then a bunch of articles will come up and inform you of the actual event that this is based on. Like, that's good art to me, man. That's really good art.
Well, and the idea of art is supposed to invoke a response, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. Or not indifferent, but good or bad, extreme or not. And I also think, a part of that definition, like you said, is to make you want to know more, right? Yeah, I think this is excellent. I think that Donald Glover and his brother and the other folks in the writer's room, apparently including Malia Obama, which is just awesome to be able to say that. Like, I just think that's very fucking cool. Honestly, I'm surprised that conservatives haven't like hopped upon this, right? For this very reason. But give it time. But I think that team, this writing team, has an ability to write something that's like a thing that's being copied a lot is these sort of, you know, horror social commentary things that Jordan Peele is excellent at, right? I think like with this, they absolutely have the capability to do this. Like, because if this was a full-length feature, like it felt so fucking uncomfortable to me. A couple of times I had to pause it and I was like, I just kind of need a break. I actually just kind of need a break because I knew where it was going because I was familiar with that story. And I was like, I really hope they don't do it exactly like, you know, how that story works out. And it's just, I just needed a break because it felt like just creepy enough, just like edgy enough to just make you uncomfortable. It's like, it's kind of like nails on a chalkboard kind of thing. And I really appreciate their ability to draw out the suspense and draw out the story in a way that wasn't like, because it's only like 30 minutes, but it's a hard 30 minutes. You're just like, I don't want to be here, right? Like, but you can't turn away because it's so compelling. It's very, very good writing. It just really is.
And the thing about it, man, is that, you know, I know a lot of Black people don't like looking at like slave narratives and stuff like that for whatever reason. Usually it's because they feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, while, you know, nothing is equal, we know that stuff like that doesn't necessarily happen as much as frequently as it did back then.
Sure.
This is based on something that happened 4 years ago.
Right. Okay. This is not 1,000 years ago at all.
Right. This is something that
had happened when they were filming the last season or releasing the last season of their show.
This happened when Black Panther came out. You know, like this happened the same year Black Panther came out.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's so and that's what makes it terrifying, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's so close. But all the performances, all the lessons, the Black mom was like the Black mom was so strict. Like, I mean, she was a piss poor mom, but at the same time, like she's trying to teach her kid life lessons, right? Like these white people will kill you. Like, yeah, well, Jesus, mom, like what the fuck? Turns out mom was right.
Yeah, she's 100% right.
Turns out mom was right.
Look, if mom makes spaghetti, just sit your ass at home and enjoy that spaghetti. Like that's the lesson I learned from that show. I'm like, you got it. But it is. You and I were messaging about this, and I said I don't know that mainstream audiences of this show, and that's not like whoever, just mainstream folks. I'm not sure they get how one of a kind this show is in a lot of ways. And like some of the deeper messaging of this show and things like that. Like, yeah, it's about some guys like trying to get money and, you know, like they got this, you know, this budding music career and stuff like that. But that's not all it's about, right? And like it's these episodes that really show just how talented Glover and his brother and the rest of this writing room really are. And they are damn good, man. They're really good. And like the way the episode ends with him waking up from like thinking about this or dreaming about this, and it's just like you're back into that world that you recognize, and it's just incredibly well done. It really is. So yeah, because they have one more season after this. Like I'm actually going to be kind of sad to see this go, but I'm very excited to see what Glover and his brother end up doing after this. So I think that's pretty cool. And the second episode was great. So far, I've watched like 80% of it. But it's more of the standard narrative of like what's going on with them. But I like all of those characters.
The show is so surreal, man. like it's a realistic world, but like just enough where it's like off kilter, but like not really.
Yeah.
Like it's wild, man. It's wild. I love this show. I'm very happy it's back.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last episode, the title for the last episode is Rich Wigger, Poor Wigger.
For the upcoming one that's coming up?
Yeah. Episode 10. The last episode of this season. I'm on Wikipedia. It's got all the titles.
Okay.
And episode 10 is called Rich Wigger, Poor Wigger. Yo, I can't wait, yo. I can't wait.
They're wild, man. They get away with some wild shit on that show. That's great. All right, let's talk about we're talking about last week's episode of Severance because we did not have a chance to talk about it. So by the time you're hearing that there's a new episode of Severance coming out on April 1st, that's not the episode we're talking about. We're talking about the previous one, just for Severance people. Look, man, this is my favorite episode so far, man. It is because like shit is going down, and I love it. It was so good that I had to look up something I didn't want to look up. I looked up whether or not this was a limited series or whether this was, a multi-season show. It's a multi-season show, and I couldn't actually be happier with that news because I'm like, please don't wrap all of this up in one episode. Because I think it's only 8 episodes a season. And I was like, please don't do that because there's so much here I want to dig into, and I'm like super happy that the second season, I think it's like filming soon. So I love this episode. Like, cause like shit just went awry. Like Dylan freaked out, which was great. That whole scene was awesome.
Dylan's a badass, yo. Like Dylan got big dick energy, yo. Like
he's awesome.
He is incredibly confident in his ability to do whatever he needs to do.
He's trying to get that waffle party, man.
Yeah, man. I love Dylan, man. Like he's a
great character.
He is a very great character. Look, man, this show, I was super excited when this thing came, when I saw the trailer for this thing, and I cannot express to you, there are 9 episodes this season.
Oh, 9.
I cannot express to you how happy I am that this thing exists. It's all right. So this particular episode, right? Like, well, the episode before we figure out, like, spoiler alert for Severance, but like we told you should have watched it. They could turn it on and off, like
at home.
They could turn it on and off outside of work, man.
Yeah.
And when Dylan realizes, oh shit, I actually have a family, because we never get Dylan's point of view outside of work.
Right.
And that's what, and to see an any come to that realization, it's holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a perspective that you don't realize until that happens. Right.
He starts panicking because he's like, yo, that's my son. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what is going on in my life that I'm missing?
And then you realize, you're never going to see, you, Dylan, are never going to see this kid ever. The Dylan that we know. Of course, we know there's another Dylan outside, but we've never seen that Dylan. This is the only Dylan we know. And the fact that dude has a kid, and now it's like, oh shit, like,
you feel sorry.
This show is amazing. You do, man. You feel sorry for everybody, man. The show is amazing. I fucking love it.
I would be shocked. I honestly would be shocked and rather disappointed. I don't really care about award shows like that, like personally. God knows. But I hate all of you. You've just ruined a thing. But society is going down a drain. It is the worst. But like I would be shocked to know, or I'd be shocked and sad if Severance didn't win a lot of Emmys. Yeah, I would really be shocked because like this show, and I realize why it isn't like massive water cooler talk, because a lot of people don't have Apple TV. Like if this was on Netflix or on HBO Max, everybody would be talking about it, right? People just simply don't. There's just not as many subscribers to this. But boy, if you have a chance to watch this show, watch this show. Like, you know,
yeah, man,
whatever way that is. Go to a friend's house or don't. Watch Severance, man. It's really super good. You know why? One of the things I think that intrigues, I think, you and I about this, there are not a lot of shows that are just like good mystery suspense adult programming anymore. Like, there just isn't a lot of it. And when you get it, where you're like really trying to figure out what the story is, that shit is intriguing, man. It's Mayor of Easttown, right? Like, you were like riveted to that show every week. It was so fucking good. But this is like commentary on corporatism and stuff like that. It's layered in a way that I hadn't seen in a show in a long time.
How human beings treat one another. You know what I mean? Like how
because the innies and the outies are, you know, they're two people. So like, how do they even treat each other?
People. They don't know each other, right? And how you as I mean, like what your outie does, like what Haley's outie says to her tells me everything I need to know about Hallie as a person.
Hallie,
and it's just Hallie, whatever the fuck her name is. Hallie.
Yeah, which is a weird name. I think it's like short for Helen. I think that's what it is.
It's it was just
you're not a person.
It was a dagger in my heart, yo. like yes, she is, yo. Yeah. But like the fact that people have no, it's fucking slavery.
Yeah, it's slavery. That's it, but I think that's the point. Is that
right? I understand.
Given the ability, would you be pro-slavery? It turns out some people would be. Like, at least Mark is like questioning it, right? Like, Mark is like, this is fucked up. Like, but and it's because of his circumstances on the outside. But like, they are literally slaves realizing that they are in a situation that they have an ability to escape. And now they all know, and they're like, nah, fuck that. Like, the end of this episode is so great because you see what's his face? John Turturro's character learn that the guy he was crushing on, God, what is his name?
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken, thank you, is retiring. And so he's losing the one person he's arguably in love with, right? Down in this severed world. And he's losing him. And it's not that you just like don't work there anymore. You're dead. You die.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if he leaves and never turns the severance chip back on, that his innie is dead. So here he is losing this guy that he loves, and his immediate response when he comes back to the office is, let's burn this place to the fucking ground. Like, he's done. Like, he is a slave that has been told there is freedom over that hill. All you got to do is get there. And he's like, all right, rock and roll, motherfucker. Let's do this. And so it's like all four of those titular characters are now on the same page. Come on, man. Who doesn't like a team up? Yeah. Like, who doesn't like a team up, dude? It's awesome. So it's been great to watch this season. Like, it really has been. I've been pretty goddamn impressed.
Yeah, man. Love it.
So I do have one. I have one perspective that I don't think maybe you have, which is I've started a rewatch twice. Right. So my wife I told my wife about it. She was like, all right, let's check it out. Right. So she hasn't seen this episode, so she's one behind. So I rewatched all of the episodes with her. So I'm hearing things that people say and noticing things that people say that I don't think other people, when you've only watched it once, you would catch. There's an early comment in the first episode that Mark's sister says to him. Is like, yeah, what about that guy when he's on the outside? Like, what about that guy with that guy you met with the mustache? She's referring to John Turturro's character. So he clearly knows him. I think she refers to him as like a therapist or something. Like, Mark clearly knows him in a different capacity than as just a coworker. So it's like they're kind of like little interesting things like that. So my wife and I watched the first episode with my father-in-law, and we finished it, and we were like, what'd you think? He was like, that's crazy. It's like, you want to watch another one? He's like, yeah, but it was late that time, but like he was into it. Like, so like it's a good mystery, man. Like it's very good. So look, man, watch Severance. So by the way, the black dude, Mr. Milchek, you'll put that dude in everything, man. He's super good. He is super good. I like him a lot. That whole dance sequence was awesome. Where he's just like behind Dylan. He's just like going, and Dylan just like fucking loses it. That shit was awesome.
Yo, he bit him, yeah.
He was like, "You broke skin." Yo, he was wild. I'm gonna take you to the boss. He was like, "Yeah, we'll go together." Like, yeah, what's up, dude? We'll go together. Fuck you. Like, I got some shit to talk about. But I like that. Like, that scene was like fucked up, and like you could just watch Dylan spiraling. Like that dude is good, man. Both of those guys are very good. And I also like that actor who plays Dylan is in the MCU. Like, he's just a recurring character.
Yeah, he's just a dude. He's just that dude.
Yeah, I'm not a martial arts expert, but I could rate this fight. Like when he was on the bus in Shang-Chi. Shit was awesome. And he told Spider-Man to do a backflip when he was in New York in Homecoming. It was pretty dope. All right, let's talk about Moon Knight. Speaking of the MCU.
Yeah, so I watched this today. I think it's interesting. Look, I don't know anything about Moon Knight, and I'm not interested in the character enough to do what nerds do when they don't know something about a comic book character. They just run to Comic Vine or Wikipedia or fandom or whatever. I'm not interested in the character enough to do that. I just want to be taken on a ride.
Yeah, that's right.
And I like what I'm seeing so far. Oscar Isaac might be one of the best current actors going today.
Yeah, he's one of the best of his generation. Easily.
He's amazing, dude. Like, he hosted Saturday Night Live, and normally, like, I know I'm probably the only one that watches Saturday Night Live, but
it's only you and Kenan Thompson.
It's me, my wife, and Kenan Thompson, and that's about it. But he hosted it, and he was fucking amazing. Like, he killed every sketch that he was in.
Yeah,
and with no flubs, not gawking at cue cards and shit.
No,
like,
that's the worst.
Like this dude's a fucking actor, and he took it seriously, and it was one of the best fucking episodes of Saturday Night Live that I've seen in a long time. Not that Saturday Night Live is some sort of barometer for like how well an actor I think he is, but like, I mean, even it is bring that bullshit.
Right. I was gonna say, like,
surface.
Yeah, right. Like, he elevates the show, not right. Like, you're not getting super high quality shit from SNL. You never really have.
Right.
Not in
He's doing
years.
SNL a favor, not the other way around.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think he's amazing in this, man. Like, he's playing this dual role. And I love it. His English accent isn't bad to me. You know what I mean?
Apparently
like,
British folks were like, I'm like, relax.
You're saying that because right? Like,
right, like, relax.
Like when we did that movie in Baltimore about with Tiana Paris playing a woman from Baltimore. And she was like, like, all right, yo, like,
yeah, you hear more, like, we hear more of the new, like, the nuance, the nuance of it. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but like, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all.
I don't think it's bad at all. And this has to be. He looks like he's having a good time, man.
Yeah, he's digging it.
For someone like him, this seems like a role that he just would eat up. You know what I mean? You get to play multiple different characters. You get to play meek. You get to play a badass. Like, it. Yeah,
you got multiple accents, right? Because he doesn't have an accent when he's Mark Spector, I don't believe.
No, he doesn't.
So it's really, he looks like he's having a really good time, and I like the way they're telling the story, which is they're not telling the story in a very linear way, which would make sense, right? It, like, to not tell it in a linear way makes sense for this character. he's an oddball, right? This guy has, dissociative identity disorder, right? So to play it straight, he goes to Egypt and then he gets the fucking powers or whatever. Like, that seems kind of lame. But what they're doing is we're the goofball character. I forget what's his name. Not Mark. What's the other one? Steven Grant. Steven with a V. We're basically along for the ride with that character, right? As he's like, what the fuck? Like, he's like finding out like wackadoodle shit. So they didn't let us be in Mark Spector's personality until actually never. Like, we never really get to see like from his point of view, except for, I guess, the very last moment, right, of the episode, which is kind of dope. I wonder, will they kind of go back and forth in that? Because that would actually be kind of interesting, right? Like, this week you're Mark Spector, this week you're Stephen Grant. Like, that would be kind of fun. I feel like they'll just let us jump back and forth within the episodes. But it's kind of cool how they did it, where Mark already has these powers. Like, he's already Moon Knight. Like, they didn't just have him, like, show him going and getting the powers. Like, they will go back and explain that throughout the story, I'm sure, right? So you already, like, we don't have to wait till episode 5 for him to, like, finally be revealed like they used to do in, like, early, 2000s movies. Like, they are just getting right to the shit, right? Like, you see him fully realized at the end of episode 1. You're like, oh, shit, all right, he's Moon Knight now. At first I thought it was, like, he was just going to be Mark Spector and just like fight this thing, but it was like, oh shit, they're giving him the whole fucking shebang. It's like, so that's kind of a cool way to tell that story. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think you can only tell it this way once, but I like how they did it. Where Steven just kind of blacks out, and all of a sudden, like, right. Oh shit, what the fuck is this gun in my hand for? Right, like, right. All these mercenaries in this Eastern European village that I'm just going to will Latveria into existence. All of these people, look, I want to believe.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, here's the thing. Who is Ethan Hawke? Like, what is his character's name?
Arthur Harrow is his character's name. Look, it doesn't.
It could be. It could be. They didn't name where it was. If I recall, I don't think they did.
I know. When he was in that ice cream truck, there was like a lot of Von. D. Like, I forget the name of the company, but it was like Von, like Damascus or some shit.
Von Dutch hats. Just a box of ugly Von Dutch hats.
But like the Von designation just means like you are this person from this place, right? Like, right. It's Otto von Bismarck. It's Otto from Bismarck, right? Like, so look, I'm willing it into existence. As far as I'm concerned,
has Moon Knight and Dr. Doom had any run-ins?
Dr. Doom has had run-ins with literally everyone. This doesn't mean that Dr. Doom is in it. This doesn't mean that like the Fantastic Four. Like, no, I'm not saying none of that, right? I'm saying there's an Eastern European looking place in an MCU property. It's Latveria to me. Just like everything was Mephisto, every place is Latveria to me.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, I'm reading an article on Forbes that says Moon Knight appears to be building up Dr. Doom in Latveria. And it's like, hey, we're in Latveria, right? Like, that's what the article says. They also have the same thought.
All right. I'm not crazy, right?
I mean, biased, it says Dr. Doom teases because of the truck says Von D. Like these people are making the same stupid comments you're making. So, I mean, they got to be half right. The entire sequence where Steven wakes up in a strange country at the foot of what appears to be a giant castle and finds his way to the local quaint village filled with culty citizens. I don't know.
Look, man. Look. Fantastic Four is part of Phase 4, right? So is this series. The series is in phase. We're in Phase 4. So
Look, I'm willing it to happen. I'm willing it to happen.
And
if I can get a fully realized Doctor Doom without the bullshit of like them in college and Reed fucking with Doom shit. Like if I can just get a fully realized, oh my god, don't even tease me.
Is that how you would prefer it? Like the first time you see him, he's just fully in the suit and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't need a Thanos origin, did I? No,
that's true.
No.
You just kind of explained it. They explained it throughout the movie.
You explain it later. And if I think that's the best way to do it, and they can make whatever changes they need to make to suit, being in film or whatever. But look, I'm willing that shit into existence. Every place is Latveria to me. But this is a very interesting show, and I'm the first episode has me very curious. And I was gonna watch it anyway, but like I'm actually very curious. I'm intrigued. Now, what do you think? How do you think you've seen Venom, and from my understanding, because I haven't seen those movies, because I practice self-care.
Yes, that seems to be the correct move in fairness.
Those movies also have a character who has voices in his head. How does Venom compare to what they're doing in this show?
It's largely the same. I mean, yeah, it's largely the same. I mean, obviously Venom has a sort of a body that kind of comes out and he's like, hey, he fucking talks to him sometimes like directly. But yeah, like the voices in his head kind of thing. It's the same. It's not dissimilar. It's just this voice work is a little bit better. My only issue with this is there's some dodgy CGI, like in the car chase scene and stuff like that.
When people are getting hit by
trees or something,
trees like that was like, oof.
Yeah,
this is.
Y'all needed to put this. You need to put this thing back in the oven for a little bit. Like it's not very good. But that, I mean, like dodgy CGI on TV shows is kind of like, I mean, you kind of expect it, right? But
you're using common sense and you're being forgiving, right? You gotta think of it like the
asshole.
The normal you gotta think of you have to think of it like the normal internet asshole.
Oh, okay. Let me restate then. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. The MCU is basically dying, and can they even make good movies anymore? Also, nuance is dead, and I only support one point of view because I'm a fucking child.
And Barry entering the Speed Force is the most cheerworthy moment in all of cinema history.
Even though it never played in the cinema. It never even did. It quite literally never played in the cinema. Like it did. Better than the triple swing from Spider-Man No Way Home. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I just watched that scene like 4 times in the last week. Get out of here. That scene is amazing. Peter 3. Yeah, look, I think Moon Knight's good, man. I'm digging it. And I think it is going to rest largely on the shoulders of Oscar Isaac and his profound performances. Like, this dude is going to nail it. There was a thing that I saw. I sent this to you. I don't know if you had a chance to watch this. There was an interview with Isaac in the run-up to the show coming out. And they were like, oh, who are some characters that you'd like to like hang out with, Moon Knight to hang out with? And he was like, I don't know, man, like Blade, Ghost Rider, Punisher. Like, I don't know, those guys seem cool. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing, yo? Like what are you doing, dude? Kevin Feige's like, yo, watch your mouth, yo. just relax, yo, relax.
I think it's quite the opposite. I think he has been prepped on what to say to keep people talking. I think he has been prepped on what to say to get the fanboy set riled up.
Hey, man,
to get them super excited.
Look, I think at this point you have to be crazy to believe that they're not going to do Midnight Sons. I think you'd be crazy to believe that.
Yeah,
dude. You'd be crazy to believe that.
Team ups are like everybody loves a team up, man. Everybody loves a team up, and they're doing all this. They're doing what they did with they're doing what they did originally. They're just introducing people through television shows.
Yep.
Some of them. And yeah, man. Like, yeah, no. I know what they're doing.
I think their Midnight Sons is going to be Ghost Rider, Blade, Moon Knight, possibly Punisher, and the Black Knight. I think Blade recruiting the Black Knight matters, right? Like, and his source of his powers is fucking demonic and weird and shit. Perfect. The question is, who do they take on? That I don't know. It's got to be somebody big enough for them. That's going to be a problem. But not big enough that it's like an MCU ending, villain, because that will seem ridiculous. Like, because you're clearly building to like another Avengers movie. So, yeah, I think that's going to be fun. I don't know when that happens, but I think that they are keeping shit under wraps as to other movies that are coming out for a reason. And I think you get Midnight Sons as a movie. Like I look at all of the movies that are coming out. They're all team ups. No Way Home was a team up. What's the name was a team up. Even Black Widow was a team up. It's supposed to be a solo movie. It was a team up. In the end, Eternals obviously was a team. Doctor Strange 2 is clearly a team up, a huge team up. Thor 4 is a team up. Like, yeah, there's going to be multiple Thors in that. Probably Beta Ray Bill will show up as well. Like, yeah. All right. That's just what the MCU is going to be. Like, introduce a couple of characters, another big team up. Like, through the TV shows, Marvel's is a team up, right? So, yeah, I think Midnight Sons is coming. What's
Guardians that? Guardians 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the Fantastic Four. Yeah.
They're all team ups. So,
I mean, it makes for better storytelling, right? Like, when you have multiple characters bouncing off of each other, especially when, like, because Marvel puts time into their heroes, a little less than their villains.
Black Panther 2, it's going to be a team up.
So, yeah, Moon Knight, so far, is a thumbs up. I can't imagine that, it would go downhill from here. But,
no, I think it's going to get crazier.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
all right. Next up, topics this week.
Sharon Stone is going to play the villain in Blue Beetle.
Wasn't she the villain in Catwoman?
Yes, she was. I saw that movie. And she was the head of a cosmetics company whose makeup could turn your skin as it could make your skin as solid as stone.
Sharon Stone.
But I don't know if it like made you crazy or whatever. But
did she have powers?
Stone skin?
I never saw that movie. So I have no idea.
It was a fever dream. I don't really remember much of it. I remember Halle Berry acting like a cat. I remember Halle Berry like getting mouth-to-mouth resuscitation from a cat. I remember the woman who voices Lois Griffin is in it.
9/11.
I remember. Look, you think the worst cut shot is that Taken shot where Liam Neeson is climbing over the fence?
Oh, I've seen the basketball scene, sir.
I've seen the basketball scene. I think the basketball scene. I will take that scene. I will take your Liam Neeson Taken scene, and I will raise you that basketball scene.
Yo, it's pretty bad.
Jesus Christ,
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, Academy Award nominee and Golden Globe and Emmy winner Sharon Stone is in early talks to play the villain Victoria Cord in Blue Beetle, DC Films' first superhero starring a Latino character. Victoria Cord is a new character created for the movie.
Okay. I'm very interested in this because DC is trying to do something that Marvel hasn't done, which is they're trying to make movies just simply for their streaming service, right? I know you could make the argument that, sure, the Marvel shows are just 6-hour movies, but doing a 2-hour movie is a very different project. Like, it just is. It's just a different style of storytelling. if they nail this and they nail Batgirl, that's going to be dope for them. Because I think that might open up a lot of space for them to just start to bring in a lot of these, what I would refer to as not as popular potential heroes, and really do what Marvel's doing, right? Like workshop them here and then bring them up, right? Like I think that's a cool thing. And the person leading this is I don't want to butcher the pronunciation of his name. I really don't. I think it's Zolo. I'm just going to leave it at that. I just don't want to be disrespectful. But he's the main kid. He's the main kid from Cobra Kai. So that kid definitely is like physical, right? Like, so I'm sure he can pull off stunts and stuff like that well enough. But it'll be interesting. I really hope they nail the costume and stuff like that. That'll be fun. And I hope they, if they do, like, you got to introduce Blue Beetle or Booster Gold at some point, man. You have to. You got to. Like, give me a post-credit scene with Booster Gold. Like, that would be fun. You need that team up. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, Blue Beetle is, I don't know much about DC characters, and the ones that I do know, they're pretty well known.
Right.
So, to be honest, everything I know about Blue Beetle, I learned from Injustice, Injustice 2. Not even the Injustice comic, the Injustice video game, not even the comic.
Wow.
And, but he seemed cool. He seemed like a personable, like young, hip character. So, I just wanted to be good, man. Just be good. That's all I need. Just be good.
I hope they nail it.
Just be good.
Yeah, I hope they nail it. Like that. I think that's good for Latin folk representation. At the top of that, the top of the list. Why I hope it's good. I hope it's also good just for DC. Like they need some more wins. They just do. In this sort of restructuring that they're doing, they need some solid wins, and I hope they nail it. And I hope that people support it. Like get out there and support it, man. Like Latin folks deserve to get some good representation too. So I think that's dope. So yeah, all right. Shout out to Sharon Stone, man.
Next up, another cinematic universe is brewing. What mysterious headline is this? A Sonic cinematic universe is on its way, says Sonic the Hedgehog 2 producer.
That's right.
It has already been confirmed that a third movie and a live-action TV series are in the works.
A Knuckles series. With Idris Elba coming back.
I might have to watch Sonic 2. I don't know if I want to watch Sonic 1, but I might have to watch Sonic 2. Just because Knuckles is in it. And Tails. I like Sonic and his supporting cast enough that I might watch this.
Are there any other supporting cast that outside of... What's that?
There are in the Sonic universe, yes.
Right, no, that like people care about. I know there's like what's the Black Hedgehog?
There's the
Shadow?
Black Hedgehog. Yes, Shadow.
Right.
He doesn't run, he skates, he glides, right? He glides and he carries a gun. So
all right.
Yeah.
A gun. That feels offensive, yo. That's offensive to me, yo. Like, come on, yo.
There's Shadow, there's Metal Sonic.
Shooting niggas at shake and bake. Like, what are you doing? That's not cool. There's
Biggs the cat.
Yeah, I've seen that character. I've seen that character. That character doesn't look that interesting to me. He looks kind of whack.
There's Metal Sonic. There's Rouge the Bat. There's like an alligator. There's like I don't know. I don't know. All right. I
feel like that's a solid way to ruin this, is that to bring in all these wackadoo characters.
You don't want to bring in too many. You don't want to bring in too many of Sonic's like tertiary characters.
Yeah, you got to keep it like Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, Tails. That's all fine. Biggs the cat, like,
Look at this motherfucker with a gun in his hand. I just sent it to you on Messenger. Look at him, yo.
Why does he have a gun? Like this is not okay, man. Like that doesn't feel okay to me.
Let me ask you something. Did Sonic?
Why does he look like it's like
and it's a desert eagle, yo.
Yo, he really does have a desert eagle, yo. Like what? Yo, this nigga's from the hood, yo. Like, yo, this is like. That's wild. This is wild.
Did Sonic go supersonic in the first movie?
I haven't finished.
You get all the chaos. You get all the chaos emeralds.
No, I think the emerald shows up the first time in this new movie.
Okay. I'm curious when they're gonna have Sonic go supersonic and turn yellow and just go like really, really fast. Instead of just,
really
gotta
fast.
go fast. Go really fast. Okay, look. This is amazing. And from the standpoint that this movie, remember when the first trailers came out?
How could I forget?
And everybody was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is trash, right? Like the internet, the only time the internet has been a force for good in this world.
Yep.
Was bullying the producers of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie to make Sonic the Hedgehog look like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
And it worked. And turns out the movie was actually really good, apparently.
And you know what's sad about that? Like, yes, the internet was correct, but people would have not seen that movie and trashed that movie simply on the look of the main character. They didn't rewrite the story. They just went back and was like, we got to re-edit this entire character. This is garbage. And that was it. Everything else is fine. Like that goes to show you how much like you really got to nail a trailer sometimes, man, or character design.
You got to nail a trailer. You got to nail the way a character looks. Like it seems ridiculous, right? Like, oh, why are these nerds complaining about the suit? Nah, yo, like that's what brings you in, man. Like this shit fully realized.
Like, and sometimes a movie can be okay, but a character design can be so good that people are just like, I'm gonna give this a chance. Like they just do, man. Like they really do. Like I saw people complaining today that the Star Wars Inquisitor doesn't look, or the head Inquisitor or whatever, doesn't look like he looked in the I guess in the Clone Wars or whatever.
In the stylized art style of the Clone Wars, where he had this gigantic bulbous head that nobody, even me, can't have.
I don't know, man. It's like pretty close. Like that's pretty close. In fairness, like maybe these people aren't that crazy. But they were just like, Disney just painted this guy's face white. I was like, one, his head is like, it's definitely like inflated. Like it is.
Right.
Like it's not a normal size head. Like the guy's head is weird. But like it doesn't look exactly the same. And like, but these are the same people who were complaining about Cad Bane, right? They were like, oh, he looks so wildly different. I was like, one, he doesn't look wildly different. But they want it to look exactly the same. And it's like, yeah, but you're not going to get it the same. But for them, it's like the Sonic thing. Like one person was like, well, we bullied, basically bullied the people who did Sonic into changing Sonic. We can do that with Disney. I was like, that's not good.
No, you can't do that with Disney, guys.
No, also, the Inquisitors are not such a commonly known thing, not even by Star Wars fans, that like everyone knows. Like you couldn't make Darth Vader, and we've seen animated versions of Darth Vader or whatever for 30 years and then be like, make him look completely different, right? Like when they did that Dragon Ball Z movie that was horrible, and they came out and Piccolo wasn't green, and people were like, what the fuck is this? And they went back and he was white and they changed him to being green. He also still looked terrible, but like they just tried to slide a different color and people were just like, no, that's unacceptable. So you have to get at least close. And Sonic wasn't close, especially because it's an animated character. Like, dude, you can make him look exactly like the game. Like there's no excuse. Right. It's not like a makeup issue. So yeah, I don't, I'm glad that changed and actually gave that franchise a real chance.
Yeah, man.
But one thing I will say about this being a budding cinematic universe, I feel like you got to talk to Nintendo. I feel like you got to talk to Nintendo, and I feel like you got to be like, we kind of need a cameo. Like, you're making a Super Mario Brothers movie, make your movie, do your thing. It's going to make a bunch of money with Chris Pratt as Mario, which is just weird. Yeah. But it's going to make a ton of money. And I think you got to give a cameo, like a two-way cameo, right? Like, have him show up and then have Sonic show up in his thing. Like, why not? They're two iconic fucking platformer characters. Why not cross over and make a ton of money? Why not?
I think the only problem with that is that I believe the Mario movie is going to be all CG, right? And Mario is an actual human being, and Sonic is in a world where actual human beings with human beings.
Wait, whoa! Wait, what?
Isn't the Mario movie all CG? Isn't the Mario movie all CG?
I don't think it is. I think it's Mario in like live action. I thought. All right. Oh, hold on.
You think Chris Pratt is putting on overalls and a red hat?
No. I mean, I think it's kind of like how Sonic is done. Like, he's CGI, but everyone else is real.
But so you're gonna have somebody that looks like Mario in a world where humans look like us?
Yeah, he's from a different universe.
Nah, that don't sound right to me. At least I hope.
Oh, no, you're right. It's completely animated.
Right. So
all right, then you definitely cross him over. Fuck it.
No, you can bring Sonic in. Going the other way around, having Mario come into Sonic's world where human beings exist.
Nah, I want to see it.
That's not gonna work.
Nah, I want to see it. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it's gonna look like when Homer Simpson jumped into the real world in one episode of Simpsons. Like, it was just like, what? Huh?
Look, it's already
what
crazy.
Is this?
but I would totally be fine with Sonic showing up in a Mario movie. That would be dope. Why not? Like, they have like a little goofball rivalry for a bit, and then they realize, like, all right, man, we're cool. Like remember when people like had like Nintendo or fucking Sega, fuck you, and they were all like mad at each other, and then people just grew up and they were like, they're both fine.
Some people grew up.
Brad still hates Sonic as a platformer. He's just like, that game's fucking
He
stinks.
does, man. He does. He hates Sonic, but like, Sony's colors are blue, so it's
hard for
literally him. It's literally just the fact that Brad hates animals. It's something that he and I share.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, everybody knows
this movie, man.
Chris Pratt.
It's gonna sound like shit.
I would have rather they give Fred Armisen Mario, to be honest. Like, he can do impressions. Or Jack Black. I feel like Jack Black probably would have had a pretty good time with that. Like, he would have done a ridiculous.
Is Lou Albano dead? Is Lou Albano dead?
Yeah, he did. He is dead.
Dig him up.
Couldn't be worse than Chris Pratt.
I watch Chris Pratt do a hell of a job. Watch Chris Pratt like knock the shit out of the park.
I know we're gonna have to eat a lot of crow, yo. If his Mario was like on fucking point. I'm shocked that they didn't just get the guy who does the Mario voice from the games. Like, that guy's still alive.
He is alive, but here's the thing. Charles Martinet, his voice as Mario is like iconic. I don't want to hear it for 90 minutes. I don't. It's me, Mario. I'm going to finish the rest of this segment talking like this.
It's like the Batman Joker scene from The Dark Knight. I believe we're destined to do this forever. Like, all right, this is a lot of talking. Commissioner Gordon, it's like if you put a jacket on the shoulders of a little boy whose parents just died, who was shot in an alley called Crime Alley. Perhaps that might give you an indication of who I really am. Like, all right, I think you're Bruce Wayne. Like, all right, like, stop talking.
I can't do this, yo.
Like, that's fair. That's fair. Like, yeah, you might need like just like buzz just like, just buzz phrases. Like, yeah, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird to hear Chris Pratt doing what I would argue is not an Italian accent. It is an Italian accent, because it is a ridiculous stereotype, an offensive stereotype.
You imagine Jared Leto for 90 minutes straight from his House of Gucci character. Like,
now I want it. No, that's what I. You know what? That's my petition. I want Jared Leto to play Mario.
I don't want the Mario movie to fail, man. I don't want the Mario movie to fail.
It's a me. Like, all right, Jared. That movie's at 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, buddy. Dropped another 2%.
Oh, Morbius?
Yeah.
Morbius? I heard that like there's so many scenes in the trailer that just aren't in the movie.
Yep.
Even things like, who are you? I'm Venom. I'm just kidding. It's me, Dr. Michael Morbius. Hi, how are you doing? Like,
I heard that scene is in it. I heard that was in it.
It is?
Yeah. My understanding of this. Yep. 17%. What are critics saying? Not good. That's what they're saying. Don't go see this piece of shit.
I mean, it doesn't matter what the critics say. It matters who goes to see it, who pays.
Because you motherfuckers don't learn no kind of lessons. Hey, don't walk into traffic. Oh, still going. All right. By the way, I do want to make an addendum to something I said earlier. My Midnight Sons team, I think Werewolf by Night is also going to be there. Okay. Apparently, there's a hidden QR code in the first episode of Moon Knight that gives you a free comic, a Werewolf by Night free comic. So,
yeah, all right,
interesting. And it's the comic where he fights Moon Knight. So, look for that. All right, let's move on.
Nothing is done by accident anymore. Nothing is done by accident anymore.
Nah, yo, like this is. They are pulling you into this entire world. Next up, this is really sad news actually. And it might actually explain a lot. Bruce Willis is stepping away from acting amid health issues, family announces. He apparently he was diagnosed with something called aphasia, which from my understanding,
you ever see somebody affected with aphasia?
No, but I understand it affects their cognitive ability, their ability to get through sentences and things like that, right? And
I've seen a newscaster. It was a clip a long time ago of a newscaster who had aphasia, and they didn't know they had it, and they just stopped speaking. Like it was just like
he just couldn't get it out.
Yeah, it was just like everything. It's wild. It's wild because you're like, what the fuck? Like, say something, but you can't. You physically can't. You physically can't get the words out. You don't know what to say. It's almost like someone would just pause the screen. But you see,
horrifying.
Yeah, man. You can't even you can't ask for help. You can't and it's not like a stutter. You know what I mean? It's not what the fuck I just did. It's not that, right? It's just like your mind just goes blank. It's terrifying, man.
Yeah, that's incredibly terrifying. But the 67-year-old legend is a fucking legend. His daughter went on some social media to let people know that he's going to step away. Look, this article is just kind of talking about the announcement and everything else. And look, man, this really fucking breaks my heart. It really does. But there was another article in Deadline or maybe it was The Wrap or something like that had some comments from directors that he's worked with recently, this year, basically saying look, they kind of saw things that were a little odd, and really kind of dangerous. He couldn't remember his lines. One guy said he reduced their shooting schedule from 26 days down to 1 day, trying to get through all of Bruce Willis's parts because he simply knew he couldn't do almost a 30-day run. They would reduce his lines significantly so that he would only have very short things to say. There was a scene where he was supposed to fire a gun and, it had a blank in it, obviously, but he missed the cue 2 times in a row, which is dangerous. Right. So there's a lot of shit like that. And they were just he was supposed to direct a movie and the guy working with him was like, I can't do this. Like he just seems lost and he's just completely incapable of things. So I think maybe this might explain what has been happening to him over the last number of years, right? Like,
yeah, because it looks like he just doesn't give a shit.
Right. He might just be lost. And that's just, fuck. Dude. Yeah. I feel like, and I've said that, like, and I've been like, yo, your acting is fucking horrendous. What the fuck? And like I feel shitty about it. Like obviously no one knew that. Right. And it just appeared like he was just kind of sleepwalking through movies. And it may be that like he kind of literally was. Which is just fucking horrifying. And I really feel sorry for the guy. Because I like Bruce Willis, dude. Who the fuck doesn't like Die Hard? Right? Like,
yeah, everybody watches it every year, man. Everybody watches it every year.
And now it's going to be
celebrate the birth of Christ,
right?
And now it's just going to be sad.
Yeah, but it'll you'll get that moment of like seeing him at his height, which is kind of dope, also, right? Because he's immortalized in that movie and in other movies. Not Hudson Hawk, incidentally, but it's not a good movie. But I saw the folks at the Razzies. They rescinded their whole thing. They had literally a whole category of shitty movies Bruce Willis was in this year, and they were just like, you know what? Because we were like, you gotta knock it off. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, man, you can't.
Don't do that.
Let's not make fun of people with illnesses and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And look. Here is a perfect example because I don't want to talk about the other thing that I'm sure some people think we're going to talk about. We're definitely not. But I'm just going to say this. See how I just admitted that I made those statements about Bruce Willis's acting and I didn't know that he had aphasia? It's possible to say something about someone that may even be kind of shitty once you know information, but you don't have previous information when you said it. And it doesn't mean that you do. And pretending that a person knew that they had, pretending that I knew that he had aphasia 5 years ago when I said that wouldn't be really fair, would it? Just saying.
I've never liked you, Jay.
So
Jay,
yeah,
I've never liked you. I've never liked you.
I know.
All these years I've known you, I've never, ever once liked you.
By the way, a lot of people don't know this. I have only ever made any of these podcasts for the white gays. That's especially black on black cinema, not including.
When are you finally going to come out as a Republican, Jay? When are you finally?
I'll let you know on the next episode of Look Forward. The fuck, man. But honestly, everyone has been shitting on that guy's acting since probably Cop Out, right? Like, because that was like a notorious like watershed moment for like him being difficult, which by the way, maybe that level of difficulty came from this, right? Like you kind of have to put this stuff in perspective. Everyone has done that. All of you movie people and everybody and people I see talking about stuff, we've all done it. Oh, Bruce Willis sucks now, blah, 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 blah. Take that as a fucking indication that maybe, just maybe, you can say something about somebody and not have the whole story. I don't have to feel horrendous about what I said, but I have to live with that and just go, yeah, I didn't know that. So if you choose not to listen to the shows anymore based on something I said before I knew Bruce Willis had aphasia, then that's on you. But it feels pretty silly. And that's basically what people have been doing over the last couple of days. So, perfect example. But yeah, look, man, I do feel sorry for the guy. I really do.
You're somebody I don't feel sorry for.
No, which is a weird thing for you to say, Micah, because this is another story about Bruce Willis, you fucking asshole. No, I'm kidding. Relax. More on Bruce Willis. No, Ezra Miller has now been hit with a restraining order after allegedly threatening to bury a couple. So he had I had only seen this recent news about him getting a disorderly conduct in charge when he was in Hawaii. Like he was at a karaoke bar or whatever, and he like grabbed the mic from this woman and like was yelling obscenities. And I was like, all right, I don't really give a shit. Like that's not, it was like, all right, he got disorderly conduct. Yeah. The guy who played Homelander like punched a guy recently at a bar, like whatever, who cares. Right. And I was aware of Miller's actions like a year ago where he like put his hands on around a woman's neck, which was not fucking cool. I'm shocked that they kept him on after that, but they kind of let it slide. But now, apparently, according to the court document filed by a couple who don't want to be named, obviously, for good measure, Miller burst into their bedroom and is quoted as saying, "I will bury you and your slut wife." The order also states that Miller is famous and wealthy. This makes access to weapons much easier, as well as sending associates to harass the couple. Following the confrontation, the actor is said to have stolen a wallet, social security card, passport, driver's license, and bank cards. Miller has reportedly been staying with a couple for over a week after meeting them at a farmer's market. All right, that is fucking weird. And they've been showing him around Hawaii or whatever. Look, I don't know what these people look like. I mean, the fact that they met Ezra Miller at a farmer's market gives me an indication. Gotta beat Ezra Miller's ass if he did that, you know? Like, all right, Flash, let's see how fast your ass can run, dude. Like, let's tussle, my nigga. Like,
violence is never the answer, Jay.
Tell that to the folks fighting in the Ukraine. Because what we saw recently was just like the Ukraine and Russia situation. Everyone knows that, which is a very reasonable statement to make.
Sometimes violence is the answer. You know, just maybe not everywhere.
Not at work.
Just do it at a farmer's market. Just wait till the next time you see that nigga at a farmer's market and beat the shit out of him.
Push him into a fruit stand. Fuck out of here. Like, it's just like Pratt falls into like a stand of pineapples. Ah! Hey, get out of here, dude. I think, look, I'll be honest. I think WB needs to be smart and get rid of him. This is only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. Cam made
they do want to keep him.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying Cam made the suggestion just at the end of The Flash. They just do another scene where they have a new actor come to a portal and be like, huh, that was weird. And it's just like, that's the new Flash at the end. It's like, that was a cool adventure. Anyway, yeah, I got blonde hair now and I look totally different. Like,
yeah, get Grant Gustin to do it. You got a Flash everybody loves right there. Like,
yeah, he need to upgrade.
He need to
upgrade. He need to upgrade.
Just do one shot. Just film it. Just tack it on at the end of the movie and fucking Bob Newhart that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, I would just end the show. I would just end that show and just move all of those motherfuckers into the movie universe. Just be done. Like, all right. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Grant Gustin's Flash, but that's mostly the show's fault, not his fault. All right, that's fine. I get that guy, you know, give him the chance, I guess. But I think you got to dump him. What do you think?
I can't imagine that WB would want to keep him. But if you do, you got to get this dude like help. Like, you should get him help anyway. Like, don't cut him off and then just like let him like blow like dust in the wind, right? Yeah, like, get the dude some help. But at the same time, you got a brand to protect. And
you do.
And I would get rid of that. I would let him go and see what I can do to get that dude some like substance abuse help or whatever his issue is.
Right.
You know what I mean? And say that's a part of your this is contingent on you ever working for us again as a studio. Like, you got to go through this. Like, people need to protect some of these actors, man, because it's obvious that like some of these people got some shit going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because they're famous and wealthy doesn't mean that they're not human. And
quite the contrary.
With regular ass human emotions, right? I quoted a famous poet on Black cinema when talking about this. I will quote a different one: "More money, more problems."
Yeah,
and they have the same problems that we do. It's just that it could be amplified with money. And I hate being like a celebrity, like sticking up for a bunch of celebrities and shit. Cause like, I get it, right? Like, they rich and shit. Like, that must mean they don't have any problems. Nah, yo, they do. They're human beings. Athletes go through this shit all the fucking time, right?
Yep.
Just because an athlete makes a ton of fucking money doesn't give you the right to call him a fucking nigger on a basketball court. Like,
No.
Get the fuck out of here, yo.
No, and if you're Ron Artest, you coming into them stands.
Right. Like, I get it. Yeah. I'm not one of those violence is never the answer. Like, nah, yo, I get it.
No, sometimes.
Sometimes it is. Look, there was a dude at when I worked at the wastewater treatment plant. He was an alright guy, but like people kind of made fun of him because like he was narcoleptic and he was a big dude, and you know it was like guy talk around there, and you know everybody called everybody names and shit. Like, oh, look at this motherfucker right here. Let's this fat motherfucker. He turned around one day and he said, "I'm only gonna be so many motherfuckers. You better cut that shit out." And he fucking did it. Like they like he cut that shit out because like. Nah, yo, you can't push people, man.
Nah,
you can't push.
You can push people only, but so far, and you look, and you just don't know which type of person is going to react in that way. It might be the guy you think. It might not be the guy you think. Like,
might be the guy from West Hollywood, or it might be the guy from West Philly.
You never know. You never know.
All right, that's enough Oscar commentary.
Yep.
For one show,
yes.
But nah, yo, for real.
Niggas
Ezra Miller, like that dude needs to get his shit in order. Because this is not the first time, and you can't.
And it's
escalating. You can't just do this shit, man. Right.
And it's escalating. Right. And like, look, the next time, what you don't want is to put this guy in front of a $200-300 million movie after that, like after the Flash, like, oh, here's Flash 2, and it's this big whopping, you know, let's say the Flash is a huge success. I hope it is. But like. You don't want to put this guy in front of a sequel and he's like a big, huge name and everybody's excited about it. And then he like seriously hurts somebody. Then what are you going to do? Because people are not going to go see that movie because they're not going to want to support him. You then have lost a ton of money.
People might bully you to boycott that, to get that movie off the fucking screen, to not show it.
To not show it.
I mean? Like,
and then where are you? $200-300 million just thrown down the toilet.
Write off? Nah,
Oof.
man.
From WB, they can't afford that shit. They're not Disney. Like they in a world, or Discovery. They're in a world of trouble. Like, yo, what are you talking about? So yeah, I'm interested to see what WB does, but they're not going to make any moves until after that movie comes out. You can guarantee that. Yeah. They're not gonna throw water on that dude before that movie comes out. They need everybody to be as positive on him and on WB as possible, which gives him to next summer, and then you probably would hear something if you hear something at all. So
yeah,
like you said, get that guy some help, man. Honestly, this next story is I didn't have a chance to read this, so I'm just gonna kind of skip it. Let's jump down into trailers this week. Okay, so here you go. The trailer for Top Gun Maverick. This is the latest one. What did you think of this one so far? Like, you've never seen the original. I have, because I believe in America. What are your thoughts on this?
I will see Top Gun, the original, because my wife has seen it, and even she is like, I told her I'd never seen it, and she said, "Don't tell anybody that."
Man, that's kind of wild. You've never seen that. Yeah, like it is kind of wild.
So I will watch it. Maybe this weekend.
Look, it's not action heavy, right? Like it's not like this. Like just realize it's super
movie, right?
80s. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an 80s movie. I get it. I think I know what I'm in for. So I will check it out. This is why I will check it out.
Yeah, this looks fun.
This trailer is amazing, man. Like, I wasn't like keen on it because I'm like, I don't have that love for Top Gun that everybody, seems to have. Yo, this trailer is amazing. This trailer makes me want to enlist in the Air Force.
It's Navy. These are Navy pilots.
Oh, excuse me, the Navy. I apologize. It's the Navy. Yeah, man. This. All right, I got it.
Look. All right, let me tell you why that. Like, you are looking at this purely from an aesthetics point of view. which I respect. But let me tell you why this is so fucking good, right? One, Miles Teller is playing Goose's son. Goose is Maverick's former partner, right? Who, spoiler alert, for the 80s, he dies.
And the onesie that my wife wanted to get. I'm like, yo, I've never seen Top Gun, but yo, I know Goose dies.
Like, she was like, nah, Maverick dies. I'm like, yo, that's Tom Cruise's Maverick. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, are you sure you remember this movie? Like, Goose dies, yo. But so Miles Teller is playing Goose's son, but his call sign is Rooster, which is awesome, right? Like that's a small thing, but it's like it's a big thing, like in that lore, right? So that's very cool. The second thing that is awesome is that the guy who recommends Maverick to take over Top Gun, which doesn't exist anymore, incidentally. It used to be a real thing. Is Val Kilmer's character Iceman, right? He's a general, right? They show his picture and he's like, he recommended you for this. Which is dope because the whole premise, or not the premise, but him and Iceman have this rivalry, played expertly by Val Kilmer, incidentally. They have this rivalry, but in the end, they're like, all right, man, like, they fly a mission together. It's like, all right, motherfucker, like, you're a badass. I'm a badass. Like, all right, we all, like, they get respect for each other in the end. And so for him to then be like, all right, you can teach these guys at Top Gun. That's kind of dope. Like, also, like, Tom Cruise hasn't aged. He hasn't aged.
He really hasn't.
You know, he looks amazing. You know, he does.
Why is he still a captain though? Like,
well, in the first trailer, they talk about how like he hasn't progressed because like, yeah, he's called Maverick for a reason. Like he just kind of does what the fuck he wants to do. So he gets in trouble a lot. Okay. But so they've just busted him down and kept him as a captain. I do like, I like this team. Like, I like that it's Goose's son. I like that Maverick is there. I like that other guy who plays, I guess, Hangman is, he kind of reminds me of Val Kilmer's character, a douchebag. They gave Miles Teller the fucking Goose mustache, so he kind of looks like his dad. Yeah, you know, like, Payback is, you know, it's a black dude. There was a black guy in the first one, Showdown, I believe. And they've got a woman on the team this time. So that's awesome. Cool. It's a woke Top Gun, as white racists would say.
Well, get woke, go broke.
Except that's simply not true. Get woke, make billions of dollars. So yeah, I think this looks awesome, man. Like, and I don't know. There's a lot of sort of a lot of feel to the original. Like Maverick is kind of behaving like Ghost Rider, right? Who was like their teacher in the first one, like really giving them the shit in the air. Like they were having a hard time keeping up with him, right? Like they were because he was so fucking good. So and also in the original, fucking Michael Ironside's in it, dude. Like, come on, like the movie's awesome.
I like Michael Ironside.
Yeah, he's a badass. But yeah, I should watch Top Gun again. I'm definitely gonna watch it before this comes out. Top Gun is so good, man. There's so many ridiculous but very quotable scenes. Like, you know, like there just are, and they have like the singing scene in the first trailer for this. Like it's got the feel like exactly right of what this movie should be in 2022. He's got the fucking bike. He's got the jacket from the original. Come on, man. Come on. Who doesn't want to see this movie? It looks so good.
So I'm very interested to watch this first one and then watch this one to see the new filming techniques, because I can't imagine this scene. I can't imagine this scene is in the original Top Gun, right?
Yo, there's a scene in the original Top Gun where it's like showing like planes dogfighting. They just rolled that scene like 4 times in the movie. Yeah, they were like, oh, we ain't got the money for that. Like, knock it off. No, what they actually did, the background for this is they flew in, I want to say they're Hornets. I forget what Hornets, F-24 Hornets or 18s or something. I don't know. But those planes are 2-seaters, right? And so what they did is they had crews sit in the back seat. So like those are like they're really flying, but they basically made it look like he's flying, right? So the camera's just on the back seat of the actual pilot while he's, you know, kind of like pretending to fly. So all the scenes of like up close, like right on him, they are actually flying. Because like they asked if like Tom Cruise could like fly one of the jets, and the U.S. military is like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? No,
yeah, get out of here."
They're like, "Yo, we think Tom Cruise is quite amazing too, but like, relax, like, relax.
Yeah, calm down, yo. Like, you give a dude a helicopter, and he tries to take a fighter jet. Come on, man.
Yo, those things are like $18 million a pop. Like, nah, they're not gonna do that. Like, relax. So the rumor is that this is going to take place like one of they're like, because I think they take on Russian MiGs in the original. The rumor that I read was at some point they are going to end up. The likelihood is that they end up in Iran, I think, and like their planes get shot down, and Iran still uses the same planes that they use in the original. So Maverick is like, step aside, Butch, I got this. like he steals one of their jets. Like that's the rumor, is that that's likely to happen. So whatever. They're actually seeing like real combat in this, which looks pretty dope. So I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, man. Planes are awesome. And
jets are very cool.
Look, I will watch the original, and I will come back next week and I will give you my review of it.
Review of Top Gun. I cannot wait to hear the review, because it's a wild movie to look at in 2022 eyes, man. Like, it is.
Yeah, this ain't gonna be 6-year-old me watching this.
Nah.
No.
What is happening in this film? Yo, this is bizarre. But you'll get, when you then go back and watch the trailer for this, you'll get the feel of why, like, everybody is so excited, because it matches the tone of the original movie quite well. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. And I think Miles Teller's going to kill it.
Was this the one where he said, "You can't handle the truth"? That was Top Gun. Right?
Yes, that was the beginning of Top Gun. No,
okay.
No, it was not.
And is this the one where he carried the woman out and everyone started clapping? Is that Top Gun also?
Isn't that like Officer and a Gentleman or some shit like that? No, this is the one where he says, "Help me, help you," and then he spins in the end zone. Like, that's what happens in this movie. It's quite good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this is going to be fun. And I think this is in May, I believe, May 22nd or something like that.
May 27th everywhere else.
Man. They're shooting right for that big summertime money. So I think you're going to get a lot of people to come out and see this. I really do. I think people are going to be pretty excited about it. So
yeah,
hell yeah, man. Yeah. So look, I think that looks really good. I'm pretty excited about it. Any parting words before we get out of here?
No. Be good to each other.
No. Here's my advice: go touch grass. A lot of you. All right, that's it for us. We will see you guys next week. Shout out to Coda, man. I'm glad Coda won. I really am, and I'm glad Questlove won. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. Coda, go watch Coda. It's a sweet little movie.
I'm gonna try to check it out this weekend, actually.
Yeah. So, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. So shout out to those folks. If you haven't watched Summer of Soul, you should. It's a great documentary. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's on Hulu, I believe.
We're probably gonna watch that this weekend.
All right. Awesome opening, by the way. Just to see young Stevie Wonder play, like it's pretty dope. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.